So I have just finished my 4th year of medical school and I achieved an honours in my end of 4th year exams. These were honestly the hardest exams I've ever had to prepare for in my entire time at medical school. In a recent video, I talked about just how difficult it was for me to predict how well I'd done in my exams, and that doesn't usually happen to me, so it was definitely the toughest exam season. But there was one revision tool that was an absolute lifesaver for me during this exam season. It made it 100 times easier to prepare, and it's without a doubt allowed me to achieve the grade that I did. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hiba and I'm going into my final year of studying medicine at the University of Manchester. Now, the majority of you that follow my channel are students like myself, and I know that you'll all be able to appreciate that having the right stationery, equipment and resources makes a huge difference in being able to study and revise effectively. Just like you can't really study without a pen and paper or without a laptop, this exam season I couldn't study without my Optelk whiteboard, which I think is the smartest non-digital whiteboard that exists out there for students. I have very kindly been sent one to unbox with you in this video today, but I have another one that I had been using in the run-up to my most recent exams, and believe me when I tell you, this product and just Optelk as a stationery brand in general has been made with insane attention to detail, and I can't wait to show you this in this video. There are just small features and things about it that just make it glaringly stand out from the average old £5 whiteboard, and I know a lot of you have a very similar revision style to me, so I'm really excited to tell you more about how I've been using it whilst I unbox it with you in this video. So this is how big the box is. Let me just show you. For whatever this is worth, the packaging is really nice as well. It's quite giftable. I have brought a pair of scissors to help me with the unboxing. So I'm just going to open the box now. So as I mentioned, I do already have one of these whiteboards. I've been using it all the way through my exam season, so I do know what is inside. I'm just kind of opening it with you just to show you everything that's inside. So this is how it looks. I'm just going to take it out. There are quite a few things that come with it, so I'll just take the rest of the stuff out now. So here we have the whiteboard pens and sticky pads, and we have the eraser. So starting off with the whiteboard itself, it comes with a lovely cute thank you note by Optelk. The whiteboard itself is A3 size, which I think is perfect size to study. It's not too big and it's not too small. I'm just going to cut through the plastic as well. So when I actually first opened this, when I first got the whiteboard to study with, the first thing I noticed about it straight away was that the frame is so high quality. It's really sturdy and it actually weighs a lot more than all of the other whiteboards I've ever used. The frame itself is actually made of aluminium, so not just cheap plastic like most whiteboards are. As soon as you open it, you can just tell it's made to last. Moving on to these pens that come with the whiteboard. They come in their own cute separate packaging. As you can see, each of the pens actually has its own eraser at the top, which is really useful. And all of the pens are actually also magnetic. And this is really helpful for me because I lose things all the time. So with the pens, I always keep them in this plastic case that comes with them, or I have them stuck onto my whiteboard. So I haven't actually lost one of these pens yet. I also really appreciate these pens being in several different colours rather than just the typical red, green and blue, because I definitely use a lot of colours personally when I'm revising. One thing I actually noticed about this whiteboard and these pens is that the ink of the pens doesn't actually stain the whiteboard. I know most of you will know what I mean, but you know when you kind of write on a whiteboard with a whiteboard pen and then you rub it off, and no matter how hard you rub, it always leaves a stain and the whiteboard starts to look disgusting really quickly. Well, that doesn't happen with this one. The pen actually rubs off beautifully without leaving a single stain. When I'm revising, I sometimes like to write like motivational quotes at the top of my whiteboard, and one time I had like this coat up for about 3 weeks on my whiteboard, and when I rubbed it off, even that didn't leave a single stain. Like, it just rubs off beautifully. See? I just rubbed it off with this eraser that comes with the whiteboard, and the eraser is also magnetic. So the product also comes with small magnetic beads that you might have seen earlier. So it comes with 3 of these magnetic beads, and I actually use these magnetic beads to stick kind of small pieces of paper, any small notes, a to-do list, anything I really want to be reminded of onto my whiteboard when I'm not actively using it to revise from. Things that you'd maybe want to stick on, you know, one of those brown pin boards. And for me, this was really helpful during my exam season because for me, it was able to function as a 2-in-1, as a whiteboard and as a pin board. It saved me a lot of space during my exam season. I don't have the biggest desk. So you might have noticed that this whiteboard actually comes with a built-in stand, which is this bit at the bottom. I've used my fair share of whiteboards over the years, and this is the first one that I've used with a stand. For years, I was just using those flat whiteboards to revise from, and I would be hunching over them, which was so horrible for my back and my neck and just for my posture. This stand just makes life a lot easier. So what's amazing about this stand actually is that it has these locks either side. So you just pull them out slightly, and then you can adjust the stand to be at whatever level you want it to be. And then when you're happy, you can just lock it back into place. And that actually prevents the whiteboard from falling or moving around, flopping around whilst you're actually trying to write and work on it. There are so many little small, thoughtful changes that have just made this whiteboard in particular so much more comfortable for me to use during my exams and for my revision than cheap alternatives that I've used in the past. So as well as all of this that comes with the whiteboard, it also comes with these small sticky pads. So these small little sticky pads, these can be actually put onto the whiteboard if you're going to be using it on a slippery surface. It just prevents the whiteboard from slipping and moving around. They literally have thought of everything. So for me personally, I've used this whiteboard for many things. Mainly for me, it's using whiteboard for active recall. So if I learn something new, learn a topic, I'll try to remember the notes that I've read and rewrite stuff on the whiteboard. I'll make mind maps, do diagrams, but I also often use it to make a to-do list, which just acts as a big fat reminder of the things that I have to get done that day. And like I mentioned, it does also function as a notice board or a pin board because of the little magnetic beads that come with it. A whiteboard is definitely a must-have for all medical students. It's a really effective way of doing active recall, and this whiteboard in particular is the one that I would recommend because of just how comfortable it is to use. I mentioned at the start that it is heavier than the average whiteboard, so you can tell it's really good quality, but it isn't heavy, so I often take this with me to the library when I want to study. I've taken it with me to a coffee shop before, so it's definitely something that you can take along with you. So yeah, I hope I've been able to show you just how useful this whiteboard is. I never thought I'd have this much to say about a whiteboard, but that just goes to show how much thought has been put into this product and how genuinely good it is. Oh, and I forgot to say earlier that it's also double-sided, so you can work on both sides as well without having to rub off all your hard work. But honestly guys, don't take my word for it, try it out yourself. I've put the Amazon link in the description of this video for you to purchase this whiteboard, and using the promo code Hiba5 at checkout, you can actually get yourself 5% off. I'll also have that written for you in the description as well. Worth every single penny, and just doesn't compare to any of the other whiteboards that I've used in the past. It's also around the time of A-level and GCSE results day as well, so there's a gift idea for you. Do let me know in the comments if you end up purchasing one. Tag me on Instagram if you purchase one and I will repost you to my story as well. If you have any questions as well, please let me know in the comments. I reply to all of them and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.